Ricky, mate, we discussed the other day saying it could not get worse for Manchester United. They keep proving us wrong, mate, don't they? Where did that go wrong today, Rick?
Team selection. We did a show on, I think it went out on Friday, where I said, you asked me for a prediction. And I said, if Fred, Bruno and Rashford all play, we'll get beat 2-0. I didn't expect 4-0, but I said we'd get beat 2-0. I also said to you in that show that we've got a 5'9" centre-back. He cannot afford to leave McTOMINAY out. No matter what you think of him, he's 6'4", and you need a physical presence when you're under it from throw-ins and corners. If you watch the early part of the game, the first throw-in into the box, I only had one that was in touching distance, believe it or not, because I was watching for it. I'm pretty certain they only had one throw-in that was in touching distance of the box in the first half, and it caused absolute mayhem. Nobody could get it, and we managed to scramble it out for a corner. They won the header from the corner, but nothing came from it. But 2 or 3 corners later, they scored again by winning an header in the box and heading it back across the box, and somebody heads it in. You cannot, in the Premier League, particularly at places like this, you cannot in the Premier League, and this isn't hindsight, I said this to you on Thursday or Friday, you cannot play to centre-back, what's he called, Martinez, who's 5'9", and then play Fred and Eriksen in midfield. I'm an amateur pundit. Now, I know I've been watching United since 50 years I've been watching United, but this guy's on millions of pounds a year. He should understand that you can't come to a Premier League club who are going to put long balls into the box and play all short players. You just can't do it. Doesn't matter what you think about them as players, there's all different aspects to the game. You've got to win some headers. So, what does he do at half-time? I know it's 4-0 at half-time, but look at his first tactic.
Take anything from that in terms of him bringing Martinez off? Do you think he might have learned?
It looked that way. He brought them 2 off and brought. Now, to be fair, when we were speaking the other day, I said Martinez is a new player. He's his player. I'd probably keep him in. But I said if you do keep him in, you've got to play McTOMINAY. What does he do at half-time? He brings him off and puts Varane on, who's about 6'3", and he takes Fred off and put McTOMINAY on, who's about 6'4". They still tried to play Brentford, but they didn't get a goal in the second half.
I feel like
they got 4 in
it.
Possibly, but they still try and score when you get corners. They still try and score when you get throw-ins. Do you know what I mean? It's all right saying they take the foot off the gas a little bit. It just makes a difference. And then, so obviously when that happened, I started watching at the start of the first half. The first throw-in they got, they put it in the box. McTOMINAY headed it away. People don't realise how important it is. The first corner he got, McTOMINAY headed it away. It was a low one, actually. It was probably only about 4 foot high. He had to duck to head it. But we haven't got players putting their head in where it hurts. We haven't got players putting a foot in. Now, I know McTOMINAY, his passing lets him down. I know he's poor, but I've banged on and on and on. You cannot play Fred. You cannot play Fred. At half-time, I said to somebody, if you go back to last week's game, at least last week's game it was only 2-1. I know they could have had a couple of others, but this is how football works. You don't score all your chances. I know they could have had 4 or 5 last week, but they've got 4 today. They could have had 7 or 8. That's how it works.
On that, actually, I think the shots on target were all goals in that first half.
Well,
everything they hit went bleeding in, mate.
Yeah.
It was one of them days, wasn't
it? What I said to me mate at half-time, another thing, McTOMINAY, at least what did we do in the first half defensively? What did we do in midfield? You can think McTominay's crap all you like, at least he puts a foot in. I mean, today people will think people will probably say, what are you talking about? He's touch letting down in the middle of the half, and he side somebody down and he got a free kick and he got a booking. But Fred's touch lets him down and he can't get to it. Yeah. He can't side them down. You need these big players who are filling holes. You've got to have it. And also, because I said this at half-time, at least last week, he's getting a foot in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't condone it, but he could have got sent off last week. Nobody's putting any effort in like he's putting it in. And he also lunged into a challenge. And again, he's touched him down. He lunged into a challenge in the box, which squirted to Bruno, and Bruno should have scored. Fred can't lunge into these challenges. You've got to have somebody like that, unless you've got a spectacular player in his place. But Fred doesn't qualify as that, I'm afraid.
No, I mean, to be honest, everything you said there, we know the technical abilities of our players, and it isn't good enough. But to be fair, there, I said that could have been a different game because the first 5 minutes we weren't bad, mate. We started off okay, but then 2 individual errors I put down both to De Gea pretty much crippled us, mate. And that ball to Eriksen I thought was worse than his save attempt.
I don't know if you've seen it again on screen. I've not. I feel sorry for Eriksen. I've only seen it live, me, but straight away I thought, what's he doing giving him that there? Suicide ball. He's right under pressure. You've got to have, when you're playing football, you've got to have confidence in your teammates, and if you've got 2 or 3 yards, you need to sort of lend them the ball. You know, you've got to trust them to be able to get it under control, but not in your own box when someone's a yard away. That's ridiculous. So it was at fault with the first 2 goals. I never even said this during the week, but I rewatched the game from last week. The first goal last week was, I'm not saying he could have saved the goal, it's impossible to save the goal itself, but Welbeck's cross goes across the front post and he goes out for it with his left foot. I've got a feeling he could have dived out from the post. And then the second goal that he parried away, I've looked at that and I can't get my head around it. The shot is right in the middle of the goal. It's nowhere near like going towards the corner. It's right in the middle of the goal. And I do, as you all know, anybody who's watching, I do profess to be a football expert, but I'm not a goalkeeping expert. So I didn't say anything. But I wasn't happy with De Gea on both the goals last week and both the first 2 goals this week. That's the first 4 goals of the season that we conceded.
It could have been a different game. Individual errors can set the tone. I said the game changed as soon as a lethargic Maguire got closed down easily by Tony. The crowd went up, and from that moment they went for the blood. They were baying for blood in the Brentford, and we just fell into their trap. Ricky, looking ahead, we've got not much hope. We're bottom of the league now. Liverpool this week. I've been watching that All or Nothing documentary, Arsenal last season when they set off with 3 straight defeats. The problem we've got, mate, we're getting smashed on the park by Brentford's, Brighton's. This could get even worse this season, couldn't it? I mean, I've said before to a few fans, I can't see us getting out of the bottom half of the table playing like this. It could be worse than that, could it not?
It could get worse, but he's got. I mean, I told you what I would have had my team as today. I thought Rashford was pathetic again today. Again, he got 90 minutes. Bruno on the ball today. I've seen him worse, but it's just he doesn't really fill spaces in properly. I'm just not having Bruno at all. I said to you during the week, oh, by the way, I've got to come. This is just reminding me of something else. This manager is driving me mad like Solskjaer did. Van der Beek coming on for 3 minutes again. He's getting treated like he was getting treated before, and this man likes him. This man had him under his wing at Ajax.
Well, let's see
3
from
minutes.
there, mate. Let's see, because this is going to come down on Ten Hag. He made 3 substitutes in injury time last week. He made another one in Donny here today. I mean, we're going to see now. And I said this, the powers that be and how much power Ten Hag has got is going to be shown in these next few weeks now, because you cannot keep playing a team that fails like that week in, week out. And with you, changes need to be had. If he made 11 changes against Liverpool, would you be unhappy?
I'd be devastated, because you've got to have some kind of core. Now, I said to you during the week, and I've said it time and time again, that the players who are decent can't play well with rubbish players. You can't play football with a rubbish player who can't give it back. Rashford's rubbish. Sure, no wonder he's struggling. His teammate is Marcus Rashford. It's like playing with a child in front here. You know, Bruno at number 10 giving it away all the time. He's got to get, we need that bit of steel. Please, anybody, do not come in the comments and tell me that we can manage without McTOMINAY next week. We've got to have something. I know we give the ball away.
We sign a new player.
Well, if we get a new player, fair enough. But I'm talking about from what we've got. From what we've got, we need somebody who can win an header, who can get a foot in, and who's prepared to put his body on the line. And please don't anybody tell me that he's not prepared to put his body on the line.
Someone will come and tell you, mate. But past that, Rick, mate, it's been a bad day at the office. Hope you get home safe, mate. Enjoy a bit more of the sun this weekend. And hopefully, we'll have a laugh in the week with another video, mate. But cheers for coming on, Rick.
Nice one, mate.